This is KCCK's Culture Crawl. I'm Dennis Green, and my guest today is Nick Kaeding. Nick works at the Iowa City-Coralville Convention and Visitors Bureau, but here in your role as a board member of the Iowa Cultural Corridor Alliance, ICCA for short. Nick, welcome.
Absolutely. Thank you, Dennis.
Nice to see you. Now,
great to be here.
Usually when the board members from ICCA come in, they're talking about different things going on in the community, but we actually have an ICCA event that ICCA is putting on.
Absolutely, yeah. I still wanted to do a little bit of that today with giving you a few events from our calendar of events. But the main thing I wanted to talk about is ICCA's Celebration of the Arts, which is really our big annual meeting, main event for our calendar year. This year, we're very excited and happy to be having our event at the newly opened Hancher Auditorium down in Iowa City. Obviously, being a CVB guy on the south end of the corridor, I couldn't be happier having Hancher back open and all the great programming that they're able to offer.
Have you been yet?
I have been, yep. And it's great. It's beautiful. I think it's for the Celebration of the Arts event. It's $25 for a single seat, $150 for a table. Worth the price of admission alone. Just getting in to see Hancher. We'll have a catered meal included in your price of admission. So the big thing we do each year for the Celebration of the Arts is really to bring the arts community in the corridor together. Really to talk about what we've done great over the last year, let everybody kind of talk about themselves, and then give away a couple awards. But we do have a great keynote speaker this year. Provost Barry Butler from the University of Iowa will be there to give a keynote address on the art of partnership and the University of Iowa arts outreach and engagement. So I think really a great topic for people to come listen to how Barry has done such a great thing for the University of Iowa and getting Hancher reopened down there. So.
Great. Well, and if somebody hasn't had the chance to get in, this would be an opportunity to see a little bit of a different area of the kind of the social meeting, dining, hanging out part of Hancher.
This is kind of in the gathered lobby space out there, so it's going to be a really cool event. So I know the university is excited to have us, and we're happy to be there. So.
That's coming up November 15th, and we'll talk how to get tickets and stuff in just a couple of minutes. But
Absolutely.
In the meantime, one of the things that I love, and I say this every time you guys are on, is that that everybody who comes in, because we have a rotating cast of characters from the board, so everybody looks at the calendar and pulls out what kind of interests them. So it's always a wide variety. So Nick, tell me what jazzed Nick Kaeding when he looked at the cultural corridor calendar.
Absolutely, yeah. There's obviously, like Dennis said, there's always a lot on there, so it's there's something to pick out for everybody to really cater to what they like to do over the course of a weekend. A few things that I picked out, obviously on the south side of the corridor, knowing that this is going to be a busy weekend with people from Wisconsin coming into town, big football game Saturday morning. If you want to get away a little bit, maybe on Friday night, do something a little quieter. I picked out a couple things you can do down in the awesome community of Kelowna. P. Buckley Moss is having an art show and signing event down there at the Kelowna Historical Village. So that's something I recommend going and taking in. And then that evening, also at Tuscan Moon, Tom Nothnagel is going to be playing guitar down there, and you can kind of enjoy his music as well as some of the culinary arts at Tuscan Moon, which is really a great place to go dine and hang out for an evening. So Friday, that's what I'd recommend doing. Saturday, there's a couple great kids-centered activities to do in the corridor. There's a 5th annual Wicked Wiki Up Fall Fest out at Wiki Up Hill. Great thing to do. Sounds like it's going to be 60 and sunny on Saturday, so get the kids outside, take them down to the Fall Fest at Wiki Up Hill. We've also got a puppet festival at the Iowa City Public Library, Popo's Puppet Festival, which is another cool thing for kids to go down. They have, I think, three puppet shows that they do from about 12 to 3 in the Iowa City Public Library, so you can get down and kind of enjoy the atmosphere in downtown Iowa City while everybody's at the football game.
A lot of the schools in the north end of the corridor have programs that they do out at Wiki Up Hill. So there's a good chance your kids have already been there.
Yes.
So it is a fun opportunity to let them guide you. Because you will pull up there and they will say, oh, Mom, Dad, you got to come and see this.
I know my son's been there on a field trip. So, yeah, they love it. And they're going to put on a great event out there. So, otherwise, also on Saturday, if you're into the music side of things, the Eastern Iowa Brass Band is having their fall subscription concert out at the Mount Vernon Middle School Auditorium. So I believe they're doing music from a lot of the John Williams scores from movies.
But arranged for concert band or arranged for brass band.
Arranged for brass
which
band.
Which is a whole different feel.
Yeah, so it's going to be a cool concert out at Mount Vernon Middle School. And then, of course, there's plenty of theater options going on again over the weekend. August, Osage County is being performed at the Coralville Center for Performing Arts. Obviously, that's a little bit more mature content, so don't bring your kids to that one. But a couple great theater options in the Amana colonies, as always. Over at the Old Creameter Theater, there's their ongoing show, Nana's Naughty Knickers, which is kind of a funny comedy about a granny's adventures in New York City. And the Iowa Theater Artists Company in Amana is also doing Grace and Glory. I think this is their final performance.
Final weekend for that.
Final performances of that this weekend, so your last chance to go catch that in Amana. And then actually all the way down in Washington at their community center, they have a show going on, Wait Until Dark. That's on Friday and Sunday.
Perfect for Halloween. That's one of the most suspenseful plays ever.
Great suspense, kind of about a con man meeting his match, that kind of thing. So those are some great theater opportunities for you, too. Other than that, I would certainly go. If none of those strike your fancy, go check out culturalcorridor.org. Great calendar on there. That's really what we take a lot of pride in. All of our partners post their events on there. So,
as I'm fond of saying, if you can't find something to do this weekend, you're not trying very hard.
Yeah, exactly.
Nick, thanks a lot for being here. Now, again, the ICCA annual meeting at Hancher is coming up on the 15th. If people want tickets, how do they get them?
Yeah, tickets to the Celebration of the Arts. Best way to do it, again, is to visit culturalcorridor.org. There's a link on there to purchase your tickets online. Like I mentioned, it's $25 for a single seat. It's $150 for a table. Of course, we encourage all of our partners to attend, but it's not just for our partners. It's for anyone, really, that supports the arts in the corridor. So come enjoy Hancher Auditorium, Provost Barry Butler's speech, and mingle with the great arts community here in the corridor.
Nick, thanks so much for coming today.
Thanks, Dennis.